A quiet hush settles over the night as unseen wings move gently through the air, and a sacred stillness wraps itself around homes glowing with soft light. Archangel Michael says, "On this Christmas night I stand watch where love lives, where families breathe together in warmth, and where hearts whisper hopes they do not speak aloud." This night carries a deeper protection, a guarding presence that moves from doorway to doorway, sealing peace where fear once tried to linger. The night sky opens wider than it appears, and every star becomes a silent signal of safety placed above each household. Walls remember laughter, floors remember prayers, and the air remembers promises spoken long ago. Nothing that intends harm may cross the invisible line drawn around families who rest under this sacred watch. Every home holds stories layered like gentle echoes, and tonight those echoes are gathered and strengthened. Joy that felt fragile is steadied, love that felt tired is renewed, and bonds that felt strained are quietly mended. This guarding is not loud or forceful, but calm, steady, and absolute. Children sleep deeper, elders breathe easier, and even the restless hearts find a moment of stillness. The night rearranges itself so that safety feels natural again. Peace moves through rooms like a soft glow that never flickers. Type Amen 333 to receive this Christmas protection. The guard placed over families tonight is ancient and precise, formed from devotion, courage, and unwavering loyalty. Every shadow is gently pushed back, every anxious thought is softened, and every doorway is blessed with calm. Nothing is rushed, and nothing is overlooked. This night does not erase struggles, but it shields families as they rest from carrying them. Strength is restored quietly, without announcement, without effort. What felt heavy earlier begins to feel lighter without explanation. Love becomes the language spoken without words, passing between family members even in sleep. Dreams turn kinder, memories turn warmer, and tomorrow feels less uncertain. Protection works best when it feels like comfort rather than defense. The guard stands not above, but among, moving through kitchens, hallways, and shared spaces. Every corner is acknowledged, every bond is honored. Nothing precious is missed. Type Amen 444 to seal peace over your home. Outside, the world may remain noisy, unpredictable, and restless, but inside, something sacred settles in. Families are wrapped in a quiet strength that does not demand attention. This strength holds firm through the entire night. The guarding presence understands every unspoken fear and every silent hope. Nothing needs to be explained to receive this protection. It arrives simply because love is present. Christmas night carries a rare softness, and this softness becomes a shield. Arguments lose their grip, worries loosen their hold, and hearts rest without effort. Even the air feels warmer with reassurance. Every family receives protection suited perfectly to them. No two homes are guarded the same way, yet all are equally safe. Care is tailored, precise, and deeply personal. Type Amen 555 to welcome this divine guarding. This night strengthens family bonds not by force, but by gentle alignment. What was slightly out of place is quietly corrected. Understanding returns without discussion. The guard remains patient, never tiring, never turning away. Through the longest hours of darkness, vigilance does not waver. Safety remains constant. Even homes carrying grief or absence are not forgotten. Comfort wraps around empty spaces and fills them with warmth rather than sorrow. Protection includes healing where it is needed most. Christmas night does not demand perfection from families. It only asks that love remains present, even in small ways. That is enough to activate this guarding. Type Amen 777 to activate family blessings. As the night deepens, protection grows stronger rather than fading. Stillness becomes a powerful force that keeps harm far away. Nothing disturbs what is divinely watched. The guard listens to the rhythm of each household. Breathing, dreaming, resting are all synchronized with peace. No sudden fear is allowed to take root. This protection extends beyond walls and locks. It surrounds relationships, emotions, and futures yet to unfold. Families are guarded not only tonight, but in what follows. Morning will arrive gently because the night was held securely. Rest will feel complete rather than interrupted. Strength will return naturally. Type Amen 888 to keep this protection active. The guarding presence remains humble and unseen. There is no need for signs or displays. Its work is proven through calm. Families who felt disconnected find quiet reconnection. Small gestures feel meaningful again. Love flows without resistance. Christmas night is remembered not for noise, but for peace. This peace leaves an imprint that lingers. Protection carries forward into ordinary days. Nothing negative is invited to stay. Only warmth, safety, and unity are allowed to remain. The guard enforces this without struggle. Type Amen 999 to secure lasting peace. As dawn approaches, the guarding does not end abruptly. It eases gently, leaving behind stability and reassurance. Families awaken lighter than before. The night has done its work fully. Every home has been acknowledged, every heart touched. Nothing essential has been overlooked. This Christmas protection becomes a memory felt rather than recalled. Its effects appear in patience, kindness, and resilience. The guard steps back only when peace is firmly rooted. Archangel Michael says, "My watch over families is an act of devotion that never weakens, especially on this holy night." Protection is given freely where love lives, without conditions or demands. Carry this calm forward, knowing your home was guarded completely. The night releases its hold gently. Families rise into a new day covered in quiet strength. Peace remains, steady and unbroken. Type Amen 111 to close this blessing in gratitude. The stillness deepens rather than fades, and the silence itself becomes a promise that nothing harmful may enter. The guarding presence remains attentive, unblinking, and calm, moving through the unseen layers of the night. Every family rests within a circle of assurance that feels older than time yet perfectly present. The hours pass gently, not counted but carried, as protection continues its quiet work. Breaths remain steady, dreams remain untroubled, and the sense of safety grows stronger instead of weaker. This is a night where nothing is rushed and nothing is taken away. Each family is held in a unique rhythm, respected and honored without comparison. The guarding adapts to every household's needs, reinforcing where strength is thin and soothing where hearts are tired. No home is overlooked, no bond ignored. Peace settles deeper into the walls, as if the home itself remembers how to be safe. Memories soften, worries dissolve, and the air hums with reassurance. This calm does not announce itself, it simply stays. Type Amen 1212 to anchor this protection. Time seems to slow, allowing healing to move without resistance. Emotional weight lifts quietly, without effort or explanation. What felt unresolved earlier begins to feel manageable now. The guarding presence respects silence and does not disturb rest. It works beneath awareness, reinforcing trust and stability. Nothing fragile is exposed. Even those who feel alone within a family are gently included. Warmth reaches the quiet corners of the heart. Protection is inclusive and complete. The night continues to unfold like a soft covering placed carefully over everything that matters. Nothing sharp remains, nothing threatening lingers. Only calm endures. Type Amen 1414 to receive continued peace. The guarding presence does not judge the past or predict the future. It exists fully in this night, holding families exactly as they are. Acceptance becomes part of the protection. Homes feel lighter without knowing why. Small sounds no longer startle, and silence no longer feels empty. Comfort replaces vigilance. The night air carries reassurance into every shared space. Rooms become places of rest rather than tension. Safety feels natural again. Even long-standing worries loosen their grip. Nothing is forced, nothing is denied. Peace arrives gently and stays. Type Amen 1616 to deepen this blessing. As the night stretches on, the guarding grows quieter yet stronger. There is no fading, only steadiness. Protection remains firm and unwavering. Families are surrounded by an invisible patience that absorbs stress. Hearts rest without guarding themselves. Trust returns softly. This night repairs unseen fractures. What was worn by time is reinforced with care. Nothing breaks under this watch. The sense of being watched over becomes comfort rather than alertness. Safety feels personal, intimate, and secure. No fear finds a place to settle. Type Amen 1818 to seal this calm. The hours before dawn carry a special stillness. This is where guarding is most attentive, most tender. Nothing passes unnoticed. Every family member is acknowledged in silence. Their struggles are understood, their hopes protected. No explanation is required. The home breathes evenly, as if guided by peace itself. The night has become a sanctuary rather than a passage. Rest deepens fully. Protection does not depend on belief or awareness. It is given because love exists within the walls. That alone is enough. Type Amen 2020 to hold this protection. As light begins to hint at the horizon, the guarding does not withdraw suddenly. It eases gently, leaving strength firmly in place. Families remain wrapped in reassurance. The night leaves behind clarity rather than exhaustion. Morning will arrive without heaviness. Peace transitions smoothly into the day. What was guarded remains protected even as awareness returns. The calm does not vanish with sleep ending. It stays woven into routine and interaction. This Christmas night becomes a quiet foundation beneath future days. Its protection echoes softly forward. Nothing essential is lost. Archangel Michael says, "My watch over families does not end with the night, for protection rooted in love carries itself forward. What was secured remains secure, and what was soothed remains steady. Your home was held with devotion and care. The dawn arrives gently, respectful of the peace established. Families rise without burden. Safety remains present, calm, and complete." Type Amen 2424 to complete this blessing. The calm established through the night continues to expand, settling into every routine and quiet habit of the household. Nothing feels hurried, and nothing feels exposed. The sense of being protected becomes a natural state rather than a temporary feeling. Walls seem to hold warmth longer, and silence feels supportive rather than empty. The atmosphere within the home remains gentle and balanced. Even movement feels softer, guided by unseen harmony. This protection works beyond awareness, reinforcing emotional safety as much as physical peace. Family connections stabilize without effort. Unity becomes easier to maintain. The night's guarding leaves behind a subtle confidence that remains upon waking. Fear does not return with daylight. Strength feels quietly renewed. Type Amen 2626 to continue this covering. The hours after dawn carry a residue of stillness that shapes the day ahead. Voices remain calmer, reactions slower, and patience easier to access. The protection does not announce itself but proves its presence through ease. Even ordinary moments feel supported. Tasks unfold smoothly, and interactions feel less strained. Peace integrates into routine. The guarding from the night reinforces trust within the family structure. Misunderstandings lose their sharpness. Understanding flows more freely. This is how protection shows its depth, by improving what already exists rather than changing it completely. Balance replaces effort. Harmony feels sustainable. Type Amen 2828 to anchor this harmony. As the day progresses, the influence of the night remains steady. There is no sudden drop or fading. Security continues quietly. The household moves as one unit rather than separate parts. Cooperation becomes natural. Support is offered without being asked. The guarding energy remains respectful and unobtrusive. It strengthens without controlling. It shields without limiting. What was once fragile now feels reinforced. Emotional resilience returns without explanation. Peace holds firm. Type Amen 3030 to reinforce this strength. Even beyond the home, this protection extends through connection. Family members carry calm with them wherever they go. The sense of safety travels quietly. Encounters outside feel less draining. Stress does not cling as it once did. Balance remains intact. The night's work continues subtly, aligning thoughts and actions toward steadiness. Decisions feel clearer. Reactions remain measured. Protection becomes an internal state as much as an external shield. Confidence grows without arrogance. Calm remains present. Type Amen 3232 to sustain this peace. As evening approaches again, the memory of the guarded night feels close. The household settles easily, without tension. Rest comes naturally. This protection does not need renewal through effort. It holds because it was established with care. Stability remains dependable. Families feel less burdened by uncertainty. Trust replaces constant vigilance. Safety feels assured. The cycle of calm continues, uninterrupted and complete. What was guarded remains held. Nothing essential is lost. Type Amen 3434 to keep this blessing active. The presence that guarded the Christmas night leaves behind a lasting order. Life feels aligned rather than scattered. Peace becomes the default state. Homes retain a sense of sanctuary. Even challenges meet resistance from steadiness rather than fear. Strength responds before anxiety. The protection integrates into the fabric of family life. It supports without being noticed. It remains without fading. This calm does not depend on circumstances. It exists independently, steady and reliable. Security stays rooted. Type Amen 3636 to confirm this protection. As days unfold, the influence of that sacred night continues to guide gently. Families move forward grounded and supported. The guarding has done its work completely. Nothing threatens what has been established. Peace stands firm without defense. Safety remains unquestioned. The memory of Christmas night becomes a foundation rather than a moment. Its protection echoes softly forward. Calm remains uninterrupted. This is the lasting gift of a guarded night. Quiet strength, enduring peace, and steady unity. All remain in place. Type Amen 3838 to close this continuation in peace. The protection that settled so gently continues to mature, becoming wiser and more rooted with each passing moment. It no longer feels like something placed from outside, but something living within the family space itself. Security becomes instinctive, effortless, and constant. The home responds to this steady guarding by remaining calm even when circumstances shift. Noise does not disturb the inner balance, and change does not create fear. Stability holds quietly. Family members sense an unspoken assurance that they are not alone in holding things together. Support flows without being requested. Togetherness strengthens naturally. This calm works silently in the background, allowing life to move forward smoothly. Nothing presses too hard, and nothing feels overwhelming. Peace continues its steady rhythm. Type Amen 4040 to affirm this ongoing protection. The guarding presence continues without urgency, never intruding, never withdrawing. Its steadiness creates a reliable foundation beneath every interaction. Trust becomes easier to maintain. Moments of rest feel deeper, and moments of action feel clearer. Energy is not scattered but preserved. Balance holds through both stillness and motion. Even unspoken worries find resolution simply by being held in safety. No confrontation is needed for peace to prevail. Calm resolves what tension could not. The atmosphere within the family space remains clear and grounded. Nothing clouds understanding. Nothing disrupts harmony. Type Amen 4242 to strengthen this foundation. As time moves forward, the protection adapts seamlessly. It remains present during both quiet days and demanding ones. Its strength does not depend on ease. Families notice resilience where fatigue once appeared. Patience replaces irritation. Confidence replaces uncertainty. This guarding does not remove challenges but softens their impact. Problems are met with steadiness rather than stress. Solutions appear more naturally. The home continues to feel like a place of renewal rather than depletion. Energy returns instead of draining away. Peace restores itself daily. Type Amen 4444 to reinforce resilience. The calm established remains immune to outside pressure. What happens beyond the home does not easily disturb what is within. Protection holds firm. Family bonds continue to align gently. Misalignments correct themselves without struggle. Understanding deepens quietly. This steady state becomes familiar and dependable. Security feels ordinary in the best way. Peace feels permanent. Nothing dramatic is required to sustain this guarding. Its strength lies in consistency. Stability endures. Type Amen 4646 to maintain this calm. The memory of the guarded Christmas night continues to act as an anchor. Whenever uncertainty arises, balance returns quickly. The foundation remains intact. Families move forward with confidence rooted in quiet assurance. Decisions feel supported rather than pressured. Clarity replaces confusion. This protection remains respectful of free movement and growth. It shields without restricting. It supports without controlling. The calm presence continues its silent watch, ensuring nothing essential is disturbed. Peace remains uninterrupted. Safety stays complete. Type Amen 4848 to seal lasting peace. The guarding presence remains ever watchful without drawing attention. Its effectiveness is measured by how little it needs to intervene. Everything flows smoothly. Family life continues with fewer disruptions and greater ease. Harmony sustains itself naturally. Trust remains strong. The calm that once arrived gently now stands firmly in place. Nothing shakes its stability. Peace holds steady. This is the lasting continuation of that sacred night. Protection lives on quietly. Unity remains secure. Type Amen 5050 to close this continuation with strength. The steadiness that has taken root continues to expand with quiet authority, shaping the tone of each new moment. Nothing presses against the family space with force. Calm remains the strongest presence in the room. This protection settles into habits, gestures, and shared silences. Even disagreements soften before they can grow sharp. Understanding rises faster than tension. The home feels anchored, as if held in place by an unseen stability. Movement flows easily without resistance. Peace remains the underlying current. Confidence grows not from control, but from assurance. There is no need to brace against the day. Safety feels assured. Type Amen 5252 to continue this stability. The guarding influence continues its work by preserving emotional clarity. Thoughts remain ordered rather than scattered. Decisions feel grounded. Families sense when to speak and when to rest in silence. Communication aligns naturally. Nothing important is missed. The environment supports patience and mutual respect. Time feels sufficient rather than scarce. Balance holds. This calm does not fade under pressure. It adjusts, absorbs, and steadies. Protection remains intact. Type A Men 5454 to strengthen this calm. As days unfold, the protection remains responsive yet constant. It neither tightens nor loosens unnecessarily. Its balance is precise. Emotional resilience continues to grow quietly. Stress passes through without settling. Peace reasserts itself. Family members feel supported even during separate paths and routines. Connection remains present despite distance. Unity stays strong. The home retains its sense of refuge. Returning always feels grounding. Safety welcomes without effort. Type A Men 5656 to reinforce this unity. The guarding presence remains subtle, never demanding recognition. Its success is felt through ease rather than signs. Everything functions smoothly. Moments of rest deepen naturally. Moments of activity remain focused. Energy stays balanced. Nothing external gains authority over the inner calm. The household remains centered. Protection holds. The steady influence continues to correct imbalance gently. Harmony restores itself quickly. Peace remains dependable. Type A Men 5858 to maintain this protection. Time continues forward, yet the calm does not weaken. It becomes more familiar and more reliable. Security feels settled. Families operate from trust rather than caution. Openness replaces defensiveness. Comfort remains present. This protection allows growth without instability. Change feels manageable. Progress feels safe. The guarding remains complete without being heavy. Nothing weighs down the atmosphere. Lightness remains. Type A Men 6060 to affirm this peace. The influence of that sacred night now lives quietly within daily life. Its presence is constant but unobtrusive. Protection stays active. Family bonds remain reinforced through consistency rather than effort. Care flows naturally. Understanding deepens. Nothing disrupts what has been established. Peace resists disturbance. Safety remains unquestioned. This continuation holds firm, steady, and complete. Calm endures without interruption. Unity remains secure. Type A Men 6262 to close this continuation in calm.